Important. Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people. But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress Black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in Black communities, even though Black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities. And as I've said before, as a result of this, Black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses, once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit from the community. Because usually people open businesses in their own communities, and this is mutually beneficial, where the business owner is making a livelihood off of providing goods and services to their community, and by being a member of the community, they're contributing and they're investing back into the community. This is an ideal situation, and that is not what happens with Asian American businesses operating in Black communities.
The phenomenon of businesses in predominantly Black communities being owned and operated by individuals from other ethnic groups, while relatively fewer Black-owned businesses are present, can be attributed to a variety of historical, economic, and social factors. Historically, African Americans have faced systemic barriers to economic advancement, including discriminatory practices in banking and finance, such as redlining and limited access to business loans. This has made it challenging for Black entrepreneurs to acquire the capital needed to start and sustain businesses. Many immigrant groups have a long history of entrepreneurship, often out of necessity due to limited employment opportunities. These groups may also have access to informal networks of financing, such as community lending circles, and support systems that help them establish businesses. Economic disparities stemming from historical inequities mean that Black individuals often have less starting capital for business ventures. This is compounded by disparities in wealth accumulation, credit access, and property ownership. Businesses owned by people from other ethnic groups in Black communities often cater to specific market needs. They may provide goods and services that are in demand but are not being provided by local Black entrepreneurs, either due to capital constraints or other barriers to entry. Ethnic groups often have strong community networks that provide support in business ventures. These networks can offer everything from funding and business advice to a built-in customer base. Such networks might be less developed or accessible in Black communities due to historical and systemic reasons. Systemic educational disparities have long-term impacts on entrepreneurship. Access to business education, mentorship, and resources is crucial for successful entrepreneurship, and these are often less accessible in Black communities. In some cases, immigrant entrepreneurs can leverage cultural and language skills to serve both their own communities and the wider area, including Black neighborhoods. This can give them a unique market advantage. In some urban areas, property ownership patterns and rent dynamics make it more feasible for outsiders to establish businesses. Property owned by non-residents may be more readily leased or sold to non-local entrepreneurs. There is a growing movement to support and develop Black-owned businesses. Efforts include community-based initiatives, Black entrepreneurship programs, and policy proposals aimed at addressing systemic barriers. The goal of these initiatives is to foster a more equitable and diverse business landscape in all communities.